fuck is this kid gonna look like? And you see my outfit, and you're like, yeah, that tracks. All right. Everything's actually on my phone. Book's just like a prop at this point. It just makes me look more professional. Anybody else notice that ever since Drake and Future dropped the song Life is Good, life has not been too good? They dropped that song in early 2020, and we're just forced to listen to it in our homes during a worldwide pandemic. Just stuck in our living rooms, just, haven't done my taxes, I'm too turned up. What the fuck is that line? Haven't done my taxes, I'm too turned up. No one in this room could get away with that. That's a rich person thing. If any of us here got arrested for tax evasion and our main defense was, Your Honor, I was too turned up, we're done. Life in federal prison for us. But Drake does it, and the judge is just like, no, Drizzy, I get it. You have fun texting underage girls. It always feels good calling out Drake on texting young girls because it makes me feel like I'm doing something. But yeah, Ventura Harbor Comedy Club, this shit is nice. I've been waiting to perform here since I started doing stand-up 2 years ago. It's gonna be 2 years in a week. Yeah. But I hope I can make you guys laugh. I say that because I've noticed that I kind of have a tendency to just black out and get through my jokes when I'm on stage. Not a great quality for a stand-up comedian, but ideal. I'm like the world's most non-lethal sleeper agent, basically. Yeah. What the fuck was I gonna say? I'm sorry. But yeah, it's kind of weird when my family goes like, oh, you're so brave to do stand-up. It's so amazing that you can do stand-up at such a young age. No, it's not. You don't have to be brave to do this. You just need like a disappointing childhood. Sorry, Mom and Dad, who are both in the audience. Yeah. My mother is actually a therapist, and since I've started doing open mics and doing comedy, I've noticed that there's a lot of similarity between like therapy and open mics. You get to talk about your problems in a safe space. You usually leave crying, and if you're looking for one, you're not in a good place. Another thing people always ask me is if I get nervous before I go on stage. All the time. I'm nervous when I'm not going on stage. I'm just like, yeah. I had one girl, I took a girl to an open mic, and she was like, are you nervous? And I was like, yeah, I'm always getting nervous before I go on set. But you just gotta deal with it, you just gotta push through. And she goes, no, I mean like, do you feel safe? I don't feel physically safe here. Oh. No, I feel great. I went on one more date with that girl. It did not end well. And I'll tell you guys the story, all right? So the plan for the date was to just walk around downtown Ventura. We were going to walk around downtown Ventura. We were going to get some lunch, get some ice cream, walk around the pier. It seemed like a nice idea for a date. So I pick her up, and right away she goes, hey, my sister is sick. Can we go get her some ice cream? I'm like, all right. So we go to Vaughn's, we get the ice cream. But then as we're leaving the Vaughn's, she sees a giant stuffed lion in the next store over. And she's like, well, obviously I gotta buy that. And it was like $38, which was way too overpriced in my opinion. I don't know why she bought it. But then I drop her off back at her house so she can put the stuff inside. And as she gets out of my car, she looks me dead in the eyes and she goes, if you don't come up with a name for this lion, I'm going back inside. That's the energy you're bringing to the second date? I don't know if I want to see what a relationship is like. But I did come up with a name. I came up with the name Glenn. Now, it is a 10-minute ride from her house to downtown, and she spent all 10 minutes explaining to me why Glenn was actually a horrible name. So we get downtown, we're eating lunch, and the lunch went well, no complaints with the lunch. And then we start walking around downtown, and approximately 37 seconds go by before the date-ending event happens, all right? So there were Scientologists downtown, and they were handing out flyers for the Church of Scientology, because things must be going great for them. So they're handing out the flyers, and they try to hand the flyer to her, and she goes, oh, no, thank you. Then they try to hand one to me, and it was kind of just like a split-second decision. Someone was handing me something, so I took it. Once I realized what it was, I kind of like played it up, just like, for me? You're giving this to me? You want me to join the Church of Scientology? But she could not read the sarcasm in my voice and was now convinced that I was going to join the Church of Scientology. All right? So now, for the next 3 minutes, we are in the middle of downtown Ventura arguing about if it's funny to make fun of Scientologists, despite the fact that we are on the same side of the argument. I bring up the point, me taking this flyer means there's one less person for them that they could convert. And she says, but they have thousands of those flyers back in their car. Now, I didn't say this, but those of you following along will notice the big hole in that logic, which is you not taking the flyer is actually much, much worse than me taking it. But then she was like, you know what, let's just forget it, let's just go get ice cream. And I'm like, oh, great, we can move past this. Then we go to the ice cream place, and she's like, can you get me a vanilla? I'm gonna go use the restroom. I'm like, all right. I go inside. 2 vanilla ice creams, please. I get them, I'm waiting outside for her, and I wait for a little bit, and then I'm like, how long do I wait before I accept the fact that she left while I was getting ice cream? I figured about 10 minutes would be a good time to wait. Well, 10 minutes or until the old lady sitting next to me was like, she's not coming back home. I was like, all right, I'll wait 10 minutes. So she did come back, and then she says the words that I will never forget. I still remember this like it was yesterday. She comes up to me and she says, I didn't like how you talked to that Scientologist. I want you to take me home now. So I was like, all right. And I say, I'll take you home. We go back to the car and I take her home, but not before I grabbed another flyer. So smart. Yeah. It was honestly for the best though, because now I live in Santa Barbara and I go to Santa Barbara City Community College. It's great, yeah. I live in an apartment building that is rented out specifically to Santa Barbara City College students. So it's really comforting knowing that nothing bad has ever or will ever happen there. Yeah, I was with my friends over there. Hi guys. Yeah, you're great. I've met a lot of interesting people. I've met a lot of weird things have happened. Like my roommates cooked rice every day for a week and a half. Let me rephrase. They cooked the same cup of rice for a week and a half straight. They put 1 cup of rice in the rice cooker and left it there for a week and a half. It's still cooking? I thought we stopped it. It's still cooking. It's at 2 weeks now then. You might be thinking like, Ben, how do you know that they're cooking this for 2 weeks straight? Maybe you're just walking into the kitchen every time they're cooking rice. I know this because the rice cooker that they're cooking it in can only display 2-digit numbers. It can't do 3-digit numbers. The highest it can read is 99 hours. It has read 99 hours for the past week and a half. Yeah. Although I do think a girl there might be flirting with me, and I'll preface this by saying I'm not entirely sure because a girl has never flirted with me before. Yeah. Surprising, the comedian who's built like a birch tree has never had a girlfriend. Well, I'm not entirely. I'll tell you guys what happened, all right? And I want to preface this by saying I am not attracted to feet, all right? So, we were at her place, and we were watching the television show Cobra Kai, or as my roommate called it, Cobra Kike. He's not Jewish. So we're watching Cobra Kai, and I make a joke about this girl's feet. I don't know what context her feet came up. I don't remember the joke I told, but then she tries to put her feet in my mouth. There was pinky toe to peach fuzz contact, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know why she did that. And now I'm in a weird place because I'm like, how do I get this to happen again without making it obvious I'm trying to get this to happen again? But even if she's not flirting with me, it was still a better experience than the downtown date. I've been Ben Lampert. Thank you very much.
Yeah, for Ben Lampert. Benny. Come on, Kurt. Benny. All right, shut the fuck up. I'm just kidding. I love that. We do that at open mics with Ben, like the Jerry Springer show. I almost said the Jerry Garcia show.